Without day and welcome to Tales of Aether, where previously on our session the still unnamed group, which judging by their naming of my bad guys is gonna be named quite aptly very quickly. Anyway, you've found out this waitress that was connected to the Scorned. You traced her to her house, did some performative snooping around, let's call it that way. And then eventually decided to crush her kitchen and crush her house and crush her roof as you succeeded at kidnapping that lady in the middle of the night in her bed, bringing her to the ship, and, well, to be fair, I wouldn't call it an interrogation, but you have engaged in battle of beliefs. You challenged her loyalty to the prelate and to the cause. You try to find out why they're doing what they're doing. Spent a lot of time doing that, and eventually, as you were making up plans whether to release her as bait or pursue as a means to find the prelate, you have received a call from that very prelate onto the lady's phone, who has offered to meet all of you at a yet unknown location. Just finished getting the call from the prelate. Just told you to hand the phone over to the captured lady, Julia, and apparently she is supposed to tell you where to go.
Does he by any chance expect us in, let's say, 2 days so I can finish another weapon mod?
No funny
No?
business, unless you're working on a weapon.
Okay.
No funny business. Your stand-up comedy for this evening is cancelled.
Gonna.
Where was the actual place that the prelate mentioned on the phone call to go?
He didn't. He said
For the
he
meeting?
told.
The waitress just knows. Yeah.
Yes.
Doctor. Yeah. Trying to note it down. And she's still tied up, I'm guessing. We have her on the ship.
Well, I think somebody was watching her, right? I think Neil, or did you? No, I think you walked out to talk to Miles.
Yeah, last one
Yep.
to talk to her was I, and then Osk and Watanabe went back on
Oh, you sent them
shift.
back in? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Alright, so let's see. Okay, she
Pretty sure at least.
unties herself and okay, and jumps behind Watanabe and snaps his neck.
Finally.
Finally. Oh no.
So if I recall, one of the last discussions we had was sort of a way of interacting with her, and as part of that, kind of do we think about it in the bigger picture of Miles's family, like bringing them in?
I think that would be considered funny business.
It is funny.
Okay.
Like hilarious.
Yeah, you just want to go? Should I take the rocket launcher with me?
You hide it in somewhere inside you.
No, I don't think I will be able to hide a big ass rocket launcher that is attached to my arm, essentially.
I'm pretty sure even if you could have brought your rocket launcher without them noticing, we would be outnumbered, outgunned, and frankly,
I don't know about that.
Well,
he knows of our capabilities.
At least I hope.
Harm's way.
Yeah, I mean, being outnumbered hasn't stopped me before. The outcome did, but
I'm inclined of just going in.
guns blazing.
No,
I like that.
no guns blazing. Actually
what?
talk. Actually listen.
Really? Okay. I was contemplating the outcome of the situation, and I came to the conclusion that the best approach would be just to shoot absolutely everyone there.
That might come to that, but first, how about we listen before we shoot?
Okay, if you want to listen to propaganda, sure.
Mm-hmm.
I would also prefer some kind of sneaky.
I don't do that.
Also, I was wondering, do you think if you're just gonna waltz in there, my gut feeling is no, but is this woman important enough to be used as some leverage that we're not shot immediately when we walk into this place? She seems to be
I don't
just
think
a
so.
carrier for stuff to be brought to the Scorn.
Maybe the only thing I actually... Wendell, you can hear through her, can you?
Well, yeah, but then
If
I
we-
can't hear through me.
Right, so the only thing I could think of is when we do give her the phone, then you could listen into what he's telling her to do.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, sure, but at some point they have to pick up on the fact that we knew exactly where to look
Well,
and what she was doing. And
Let's wait until we hear the information. Then we can still pretend as if we don't know. But if we do, I think, if she's essentially leading us to their mother base where 3,000 soldiers will await us in one single row, then I think it's a stupid idea to go in any case.
well, we can always go in and then do the Lance thing, can we? It's always our plan, right? Try to talk, start shooting, and then pot out. That's
Worst case,
has worked
we
so far.
flee.
We're pretty good at pulling out.
As long as we live that long. Last time I didn't.
But you didn't shoot right away. That's your mistake.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying right now we should shoot. We should listen to.
Well,
No.
let's wait if they have an annoying voice.
Let's hear what kind of instructions she's getting. I think it's a good idea.
Right.
Yeah.
So I think I'll go in with Benel, perhaps, and
Look, she should see me, I guess.
I'll...
if
Oh, right,
I
right.
do
No,
the
okay.
thing.
So with Bobby. I'll go in with Bobby, and I'll hand her the phone, and I'll say, well, the ungrateful prelate just called, and he said to hand over to you the phone, and you are to lead us to our meeting place. And I hand over the phone.
She picks it up because she has untied one of her hands.
Nice.
Yeah. How's it? So, what is supposed to... Phone goes... Oh. Are you looking through her? Yeah. There's just like a sentence. Bring them to, let's say, X11. Alright. Yeah, I know where to go.
Okay. You're supposed to lead us there, right?
That's what it says.
All right.
Yeah, I guess I
She
can
goes-
untie her.
With another hand.
Yeah, I untie her.
Okay. Are we working?
Indeed.
Alright.
I don't know. Is it far? I don't want to walk like 8 hours.
Well, where are we?
We're in the port.
An hour?
That's okay.
An hour of walking?
Yes.
It's not very far, works for me.
No.
Soon as we're out in the open, I'm gonna go into Bobo Cup mode.
Roll me 1d6 just for lulls.
Yeah, sure.
Miles,
Mm-hmm.
I think it would be prudent for me to go ahead. Maybe 10 minutes. I'll just tell you what I see.
When you know where to go?
No, I'm not gonna. I don't want you to follow me. I just want to watch ahead in every direction while you're walking forward.
Oh, okay.
I'll be guessing where you're going, and if I see stuff on the way, who knows? We could be walking. Something happen. I'll see the building beforehand. Who
Right.
knows?
Don't lose us though.
I won't, of course.
Stay in a short run distance from us.
Yep.
Again, like just so that everybody is aware, like as Bobby transforms, you do notice that it takes like 15 to 20 seconds before he begins moving again. So seemingly you notice that it is not instant for Bobby to become more dangerous. Right. Yeah, she like just starts walking. Follow along. You follow along. The first half an hour walk is rather funny, considering that you're basically like walking down the highway from the port into the town, into the city. So you, Dalu, are basically like jogging a mile, a kilometer ahead of everybody, or oh yeah, that should be about like 10 minutes a kilometer, I think, if you like don't rush too much.
Maybe yeah, like sometimes I go that far, but because Miles saying short run distance, a little shorter than that.
You don't see your friends because it's middle of the night. Because you
Doesn't he
kidnapped
have
her
the?
in the night.
Doesn't he have the goggles?
Middle of the night. It's far away.
Well,
Those goggles don't give him dark vision, and you're not shopping. This highway is not illuminated. So
I definitely I'll go that far, but well, shit, and then I'll maybe just trail if I can
Like,
be on roofs.
if
I
you
wanna
guys,
see
no, you're
roofs.
literally like going
Yeah.
through a highway, going through fields. Like you're not in the city.
Ooh.
Yet. So if you guys don't
Right,
have
right,
any
right.
lights on, then you won't be able to see each other. But if you do have
Well,
I
lights, you will be.
will turn my shoulder pad into
A beacon.
into like a flashlight to show the road before us, because only stupid
Well-
people walk in complete darkness in the night.
Yeah, do that,
Might
but
step into shit.
reminder we still have the low light vision up, so maybe that helps.
Well,
But
helps for distance.
And if I can, I actually have a dark vision scope on my sniper rifle, Giselle, and a locate creature scope on my Mac pistol. So maybe I'm like, because that says 300 meters, so I'm 300 meters away.
Well, locate creature scope, I'm pretty sure has shorter range than 300 meters.
Oh, maybe I'm wrong.
I think. Don't quote me on
so
that.
you're pulling out your rifle and
Yeah, but like
aiming
you
into
go
crowds,
down
or
the
what are you
road,
doing?
right.
Sure.
That looks very funny. All right. Anyway.
Well, nobody sees it, I guess, so you can do that.
All I want to do anyway is just give warnings if I see stuff. That's
Sure.
all.
You make me notice check, but so far all you notice is occasional like supply trucks, or like not trucks, but like those beast flatbeds or like beast of burden carrying, like basically like a flatbed made of wood, passing into the docks or out of the docks, doing like the cargo hauling when not many other vehicles around. And well, you don't see anybody watching you from the hills. Though the group behind definitely catches some like side eye from whoever drives those beasts, because well, Bobby. But nobody really cares enough to stop or talk to you. After about like half an hour, 40 minutes, you do make it into the outskirts of the town. The really kind of like up to the corner, like check like names of the streets, realign herself. You get a feeling she didn't have many reasons to travel to the port in her normal life. and she kind of like starts heading deeper into the town in a certain direction. You definitely notice that she is not going for like the center of the town, but more like starting like make a like perimeter, yeah, like walking on the perimeter through like suburban, like I don't want to call it industrial because there's not like really like industrial areas on Nachtrapin, but like like those like warehouse workshops, those areas. You, Dalu, if you want to go on the roofs and not get left behind, I do need you to make me an athletics check because like jumping from roof to roof, you're not Spider-Man. That's not super easy. That definitely counts as difficult terrain. Let's say beat me an 8 and you're fine.
Sure.
The strength, obviously.
Okay, odds are against me.
Okay. Yeah. You understand pretty quickly that you won't be like occasionally the distance between two roofs is just too much for you to jump, and if you climb down and climb up you get slowed down really hard, so either you're gonna be left behind or you need to abandon the roofs and try to go straight.
Yeah, I guess I want to like just be able to see and tell them if there's something's going to happen to them. So I guess I'm now looking in front of them, but I'm actually left behind a bit. I guess I'm delayed.
So yeah, at some point you overturn Dalu, also because really Dalu, you have no idea where you're being guided at this point. The destination is a little bit less obvious right now, but what are you miming about?
Bobby might be.
We just revealed the whole plot. Bobby's my father.
Where was I? Yeah. But eventually, like about, I think time of year is this? Oh, November. Yeah, no, it's still gonna be dark at this point. So still in darkness, although like in the city there is enough ambient light that you're at least like constantly going in like low light circumstances, so you like kind of can see but just not far, not very well. But she gets you to like what looks like a small like 2-story workshop. Like first story must be a workshop and second story might be like some living accommodations, and it goes, that's the place.
Well, walk us in.
I'll take out my pistol.
I would like to put up a whole host of stuff. 1 second. I'm just gonna paste all 3.
All of those are commit for the scene?
Not even commit at will and undo at will.
Oh, free stuff, okay.
Yeah.
Like she starts walking towards the door of the workshop as Lance Apprentice starts having a seizure.
Before we go in, I want to activate my polyspectral sensors, and I want to see if I can, if my sensors penetrate the building's walls.
Can you post me description?
Yes, 1 second.
Also, Dalu is back with the group.
Oh, he's still climbing down the roofs.
I'm a little delayed. I'm like watching stuff.
Then I guess
from
we'll.
behind you.
Are you like we're waiting? I guess for you.
Whatever you feel. I'm just kind of. I think about it like I'm watching over your head. I'm just trying to watch for stuff, but I'm.
Yeah, but inside a building. Well,
I'm a
I guess
Spider-Man.
I'll call you over a comm and just
Well,
tell you that inside a building you're not.
What
We
if he
probably need
stays
you
outside?
inside.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. If he's left outside, he can't really help us.
Right. So your thing like scans around you in a circle, but like I don't think you want me to describe every single building. The one you have scanned does like have relatively spacious like carriage size empty space on the first floor, and that like, corresponds to like a garage door that is at the front of this warehouse. Not warehouse, workshop, sorry. There are some like shelf-like or storage-looking objects inside. There is a like small narrow room to the side of that large space, and staircase story which currently seems to contain like a single room with some kind of most like a shelves of boxes and a table, couple chairs.
I want to quickly describe the interior terrain before we go in to Dalu and Miles. Like I'll pull them aside a bit so they know which angles to watch out for. Just to give them a bit of more spatial awareness, so they have a better understanding of where they're moving into, where people might take a shot at them, where they might need to shoot towards.
They're definitely like the space is definitely like, unless the garage door is gonna open and people are gonna like start swarming out, the space is not very large. Like you yourself like get a feeling like if you go in, like you can only go through the garage door in Bobocop mode, and you most likely will occupy like half of that empty space just with your bulk. So like at worst you might be ambushed by like a dozen people if they're really crammed in there, and at the very least like nothing on your scanner show is like large scale weapon looking thing. So
yeah, no explosives, no Minotaur.
explosives is hard because like your scan is not exact enough to go like, oh, that's a bomb. Like you might see like an object that is a bomb, but you know it's not that detailed.
Okay. Quick question. Could I, now that we're here, can I try and decipher why this is named X11, and by that maybe have other points of references? Like if next time they send a location, I could maybe guesstimate it? Never mind, that was too outlandish.
I
Never
think
mind.
it's a sensible
it's
question to try and check if there is actual purpose behind naming it X11, or if they just randomly name it like chronologically
Mm-hmm.
X1, X2, X3, and it doesn't matter.
Make me no check with intelligence.
Can I also do that, or no? No, he doesn't say that he's checking. Never mind.
Not bad, not good.
Well, you don't see any X11s pointed on the workshop. It's not house number 11, not street starting with an X.
Okay. Before we go in, try and stay close to Lance. That's, I think, the only thing we should watch for, right?
Careful.
What about bombs? If they do the same thing again, like sabotage us? Can you check for that somehow? Someone, anyone?
Not really. Not unless I go actually inside.
No, that's
there
why
are
I'm
few
relying on
objects
Lance.
that might have an appropriate size for a bomb, but they also might have an appropriate size for a crate or a small chest. I need to see it.
Which one of you is Lance, and how close should I stay to him?
Don't worry,
How
it's
about
not
you
important
stay in
to
front
you.
of me, and I look at Lance. You stay behind me.
Sounds good to me.
Could I have gone to anywhere, you know, that would be a vantage point to see inside, but from outside? So I'm not seeing.
A lot of windows to
Make
this
me a notice
building.
check.
+2 for sight stuff.
Oh, do I get
-2 for darkness.
so
But
I get 1 from the goggles, -2 from darkness, and I get +2 from windless.
So just a +1.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, isn't it almost the same like vision? I don't know if it stacks.
I'll just say it's +1.
Oh god.
That's pretty good.
Right. So there are some like medium-sized windows on the second floor. The first one from this side has no windows. Just the door and the garage door. So
Mhm.
if you stay like anywhere then within like a dashing distance further away from this building, your line of fire will be heavily restricted.
Mhm.
Well, unless Bobby walks through the wall, that will help.
But if I were to like go to the other side of the building,
And you can try.
So just to be
But-
clear, right? So there's nothing on this side, but there's the door, the garage door that they are heading towards, which is
So first floor has like a door on the left, a garage door on the right, then the
Yeah,
second
yeah.
story which has a window, and that's what it is.
okay.
Oh.
Can I and I'm looking only at that wall, not at the side walls.
From your current position, yes. And it's like it's pretty
Okay.
like closely, densely packed area, which could allow you to potentially hop from roof to roof. Those roofs here are a lot of them are
Slanted.
planted, not flat, so that would complicate things, and definitely require some rolls. But frankly, I'd say you get the feeling that this is very like urban, claustrophobic space, and long range shooting will constantly put some kind of color between you and your target.
Okay.
It will
Well, I
complicate
think
things.
I'd like
Right.
to I'd like to walk pretty much right up to the house on the side of the building,
Mhm.
and hopefully without this, floor around, it'll keep me, if there is trees and so on. And I want to go right up to the house, see if there's windows on one of the sides, and then I want to climb up so I can be, Splinter Cell, ready to go through or look through a window.
How quiet are you trying to be?
Very quiet.
Then roll me a stealth check.
Yeah.
While you're doing this, because that's what you told her to do, and she already kind of like waited for you to stop and discuss the stuff. Julia has walked up to the door and those in the front like see there. The covers on the window. There's no window. Yeah, on the second floor, on the window, can like the side. And also you will like good notice checks, hear some muffled voices from the inside. The door can like opens a little bit and you see like a silhouette, like darkness on darkness. I kind of feel like the silhouette looking at all of you. You are slightly illuminated, like this silhouette is a lot less because they're standing like outside of the house. Voice goes. Julia, eh? Have you hurt your sister? Goes. No, not much. I brought them as the prelate has ordered. Oh, that's a rather large company, eh? What's with the...
I wave.
Oh, right.
His mother with a truck.
Alright. Where's your boss?
That would be me.
Lovely. Hey, do you want to talk to the prelate?
All of us. I guess he's referring to you. And I point at Middle.
Alright, that does simplify things. You coming along?
I'd rather have everyone, all my crew. Which only includes these others. I do with the head.
Right, lovely, lovely. Right, well, let's start with the unpleasant part of this negotiation. You guys are picking some serious heat. I believe you understand we can't really let you talk to the prelate armed, right?
I see.
Will you be armed?
I won't be there, but hey, there will be weapons.
Then we'll bring weapons. We can keep this very, very civil if we all agree to not using them. I think that's something we all can agree to. Do.
That's really big word for somebody who has, kidnapped Marcy's there. And came in some sort of, what are you, a golem?
That's just the state he is.
Right, you're bringing a war golem.
He's not a war god.
It's more like a wheelchair, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually. But if it helps, I'm unarmed.
All three of you make me a talk check with a -2 modifier.
I can do that now. I have 18 charisma.
Yeah, look at you.
Strong too.
Charisma? Yeah. Fuck!
Right, well, that wheelchair of yours looks like it can go through walls.
It can, and it did.
So
We're sorry.
for somebody who's talking about negotiation, and goes around kidnapping people, you're packing a little bit too much heat. Now, let's compromise. I'll let you keep your weapons, but you leave the golem behind. Wheelchair golem, whatever. He stays behind. I can deal with that. If that starts rampaging in our place, that's not a risk we can take.
What can you transform into, Bobby? Like, you have multiple modes, right? Do you have a small mode?
I have my usual mode.
Whatever you're comfortable with, Bobby.
I'll leave it up to you. If you want me inside, I will transform, but I will not drop my gun. And I don't think that they will still agree with me being in there.
Maybe we
I
show
don't
him.
mind being outside.
You don't
But
mind
this
being
door
outside.
stays open.
How
So
about
I don't have to break it.
How about we show you the more mobile form first, and then you could perhaps have a second thought about that. And I guess, Bobby, would you mind turning into a more mobile form of yours?
Yeah,
Sure,
but
Captain.
hurry up, we don't have 5 minutes again.
No, it will only take 30
Well,
seconds.
They don't know that, so
Yeah, I'll transform
Blood
back
and
into
darkness.
human.
What the hell is... are they doing to people? Shit. You're a mess, brother.
You got the Sun Elves to thank for that.
Indeed.
If I ever saw cruel beings on this fucking plane of existence, it's not the vampires, it's the Sun Elves.
Alright. You keep telling that to yourself, buddy. Anyway, you stay like that. You start doing your stuff. We're gonna count it as an attack.
Fair
Fair?
enough.
Fair. Alright, so... Olivier, right?
Yeah, I guess Dolly's on the side of the building, so yeah.
Can I see this, by the way?
You can hear it, but not see, because they are basically like talking against the first floor. Which...
Do I have? Is there a window on?
There's
this
like very
side of the
narrow
building?
skylight that you can see, but wherever that person is not in the same room as a skylight. Oh, like not skylight.
Oh, like
those narrow
on the
windows.
wall though.
Yeah.
Not necessarily on the roof, like on the wall. There's no windows either.
Again, like you're saying you're sticking like straight to the wall of this house.
Yeah, the plan was if this is the front wall,
Uh-huh.
they were walking in
Uh-huh.
through the garage and the door.
Uh-huh.
I was like on this wall,
Mhm.
and I was just walking up it, looking for a window if there was one. I walked around to that side, and then I was like,
In that case, you would kind of like see that
Hanging
room
on.
and see like again a silhouette of the person again, because like it's complete darkness inside. There's like not even low light.
Okay,
You can kind of see it like 3/4 cover. That's
partially right. And just as a little experiment, can I pull out my Mac pistol with the locate creature scope? Can I see silhouettes of people through walls if I hold
No.
this up? In range? Okay, fair. Noted. That's it. I'm gonna sit there and listen to these like muffle speaking, and just if I
Well, at
notice
a
any
distance you
type
can
of
hear it
hostility.
quite loudly, but yeah.
Okay. I'm not doing anything. For
In
now.
any case, the person can like you see like the silhouette kind of recedes into the darkness, and Julie kind of like walks in, and the door is open for all of you.
I follow.
I follow as well.
I'll
Same.
walk in front of Miles.
So like the way the room you're walking in, the first one, I could see the staircase leading to the second floor, and like under and behind it is probably what was like some like actual like small like machinery like room. But this individual turns to the right and walks in like the larger space that you saw on the side, and on the side like behind the garage door. And you, Bobby, like you can need to like duck as usual and kind of like squeeze a little bit through the doors, but in your mobile form you can make it hide. Making it into that like side space. The assessment is correct. This must be like some kind of like carriage making repair / workshop, but no carriage inside, so like the empty space. And after like you go through the door, see the silhouette wave, and like a light gets turned on like in your direction. So again, kind of like blinding you for a moment and making other people appear like like the light. But you can like a quick count. Aside from Julia, you see like 4 silhouettes of people, and voice you start talking before goes. All right, second show of hands. I can see. Like you got a gun. Other guns, swords.
Got a
I left-
knife.
Bring this.
All right.
I will take off the symbolic dagger weapon we got that I got back on. I don't remember the name anymore. I would need to look. Yeah,
Volas.
Polis.
Yeah.
not Collis, not
Collis,
Olaf.
And I'll show some cutter.
Oh fuck, I got 2 things. I got the sickle of warning. Will it warn me though?
Will what though?
I got the sickle of warning.
Yeah.
Just if I need to be warned.
All right.
And the melty dagger. So 2 daggers apparently.
I see some Man of culture, some fancy,
I
fancy
like
noise.
sharp things. Don't judge.
I don't judge. I don't judge. Right.
You left the pitchfork at the barn.
All right. Walk with me. It's a bit ways away.
Is Bobby's flashlight still on? So like when they shine at us, does he shine back at them?
No.
Okay.
No, I would no. I essentially when I transform into out of Bobocop mode, I'll switch that off.
All right.
I mean, there's light in there, right?
There is light. Like it's not very comfortable right now, but like your eyes get used to it and it gets a bit better. But again, like you can like see most like silhouettes.
I mean, I see a lot more.
You see a lot more. You actually see that there is a fifth person like hiding in the shelves, but make me an insight check basically if you are like watching those people. Like, basically, like body language, body movement.
Can everyone do this?
For
Because
right now,
for
only
sure.
Lance because he is
Oh,
like
okay,
the one who
gotcha.
has like
It's a 3.
3.
I mean, I rolled intelligence instead of wisdom, but not like it changes.
Yeah, a 0 by any other name is just a 0. Well, let's put it at the very least. You don't notice any like outwardly aggressive movements from them right now, which doesn't make you seizure any less seizure-y.
And none of them look like, spell casting from my level 0 thingy.
You
No.
you don't see any magic at all aside from the one that you carry. Like
Okay.
have on yourselves.
Yeah.
Like they're like your eye enhancement from Winless. But in any case,
I will just mutter very quietly 4 people up front and 1 behind the shelves hiding. Light nod in the direction where he's at, since they probably can't see him. Yeah.
the first voice. Alright. Come with me. And I goes further into the workshop and opens like another small door that must lead like to the like back street or whatever. Go through. He calls out, "Come with our sister. The prelate wanted to see you." Really,
I'd like
nods
to-
nervously and comes along.
Am I trailing them? Is Dalu trailing?
Are you? I
I'd like to.
Okay, sure, you're training them.
Oh, cool.
Do you follow?
Sure.
Yeah. You like walk outside, your eyes readjust, and you see that nobody else has followed you outside. Like the remaining 3-4 people have stayed in the building, and the person who must have been talking to you, like based on who walked through the door, as now you're all in like low light and your eyes adjust back to the darkness. You see him reach in his like pocket and like out a device and like send off a message. Oh, right. Wait a little bit. Take a breathe. Cool night. And as your eyes adjust, you can like see that he sounds like kinda like a common guy, but a little bit like more educated than like people at the docks sounded or whatever. But you notice that he didn't just like appear to be like fuzzy and strange looking because he was like in the darkness, because he was highlighted by the light. He also looks kind of like strange because he's fairly big, like about like 190, which is not surprising for people not shopping. But he's like he's like with hairy long arms and like this beast-like squished face. He's a bugbear. He's like long, nice like mutton chops, and like a small boulder head. You wait for about like half a minute. You hear like a peep from his device, and like reaches again like with his long arms and pick it up. Alright, 10-minute walk. Don't fall behind. The streets are scary at night in Ashafen. Starts walking briskly through the alleyways, Julia like following behind at a brisk at a pace. Now how closely are you sticking behind Dalu?
I am trailing, and I'm using. I'm still imagining this as being rather rural.
Yes.
Is that right?
Oh.
So I am kind of off the road,
Mhm.
and yeah, just.
And you're still trying to be hidden.
I'm not really in earshot. You know, I'm that far away. I'm like just at the border.
Let's go like this.
I'm hidden, yeah.
Make me. Yeah, just make me another stealth check. That's your money now.
That's not 2 1s. Fuck.
You just like you start hiding and following along, and you just occasionally like find yourself where you're like, all right, I'm gonna get around this corner, and you're like, oh, there's no building, there's just like empty space, and you're like, oh fuck. Fucking village. Still, as you like follow along, nobody calls out for you. You don't get shot at, so as nobody notices you, or they're pretending they aren't noticed. You're not sure about that, but at least nobody's shooting at you. Good.
Okay, well, I'll be confident and keep going until something changes.
Right. So the rest of you are following this bugbear, and he like takes you through the like maze of these like back streets and alleyways and workshops, and you're definitely going to the more industrialized part of Nachtschafen. Miles, if you're curious, you can try and figure out where you are based on the map of the city. Let's just make it survival intelligence check. Don't get to use survival often. I think this feels appropriate.
Hey, that ain't half bad.
Pretty nice. So, you get a feeling that you are somewhere in like the like metalworking part of the city, which is the most industrialized part, and actually has like larger facilities. Is confirmed by the fact that like instead of like tiny workshop that you've just been in, you're like starting to see like big, tall, dark buildings with chimneys and like large, bulky warehouses. They're still small and low compared to like Collis and other big cities you've been in. But for Nachtschafen, this is pretty impressive industrial grade, industrial revolution type of construction. And you stop as he does bring you to like one of those like warehouse-looking buildings, but it has large double closed front gates at the front, where you assume in the like vehicles or goods will be carried. Like wide slanted roof, some roof lights in it, not roof lights. What do you call like those windows in the roofs? Skylights, yeah, skylights. But he takes you to like a smaller metal human-sized door on the side and walks up to it. Device like sends off a message. But after about 10 seconds, you hear like metal bar being moved. Bless you. And
Yes.
Thank
door
you.
opens and the bugbear and you saunter inside. Alright, come along.
The same, I guess, marching order.
Dalo, what are you doing? Being brought into.
Well, I'm definitely looking again for keeping a bit of a distance in case there are some that watch around the outside. It's more secure as this place looks. I'm gonna stay away, but look for windows on the
Make me a
edges,
notice check
the other
first.
walls. Sure.
Right. Yeah. So you think your best options are like if you want to be close but hard to hide, you can just like try and climb on the roof of this very warehouse and maybe like peek through the skylights. Or if you want to be a bit further away, you can dash towards the like factory basically to the side and try to climb the roof of that place and hope that you might find a vantage point, and you'll definitely have a lot less line of sight if you go there, but you will also be, where is he shooting from? You know?
Yeah.
Where they go?
I definitely want to be near-ish. So if there are the two options, I'm gonna go to the roof as quietly as possible.
All right. Well, I believe you have your boots of climbing or whatever, so you don't need to roll for that. But roll me a last like stealth check. This is repositioning and making past the skylights and trying not to get noticed by.
Okay, here we go.
I mean, you rolled double ones before, so it can only go up.
At least that was in, follow NPC moment and not at the location.
Oh,
hey,
God.
I got a 13 before and another one now.
Okay, yeah. So you get up.
You're right, on the up.
Up the wall, and notice like walls here don't have windows. But as you like get to the corner, like grab on it, like push yourself onto the roof. You see those like skylights that are closed, but they are allowing some moonlight into the warehouse. And you like start crawling like carefully past them, making sure that your footsteps don't make any noise on the metal roofs, and you like start peeking through them into the place. It's definitely a warehouse, and like basically like two levels warehouse, and you see some walkways like on the second level, like metal walkways, metal going around the perimeter, like crisscrossing the center a little bit. And the skylight on your side is kind of going like right above one of those walkways, and it is fairly dim in the warehouse, but with a notice check and stealth check, you do see some people walking, like patrolling across those walkways, quite a lot. Like you just like make it through the down the roof, and you like seen three people walk past you. They don't appear to be like heavily armed, like handguns at most. It's a bit hard to tell in the darkness, but well, at least they have quantity. They are looking around and like look up, but you hide every single time, and nobody seems to have noticed you.
I'm gonna stay rather immobile. But you said walkway. Does that mean if something happened that there's obstruction between me and the bottom floor where the group may be, so I couldn't shoot to help from afar?
There's gonna be like cover, because there are also those like storage shelves basically taking up the bulk of this warehouse. But well, I mean, there will be cover.
But I can see otherwise.
Not fully, not always, but for the purpose of combat, you will most likely be able to reposition enough that you'll get some line of sight.
Well, yeah. I can think about that later. Smash through a window, who knows? But is there a way for people to come out to me? A door? Or whatever?
That's a good question. No, you don't see any... like, aside from the skylights, you don't see any additional hatches or anything.
Perfect. All right, I'm gonna sit here. I'm gonna look at them coming in, and just watch them,
Yeah.
and have my rifle out.
Yeah. Well, as you were doing all the positions, they have already entered inside. And
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah.
you guys like walk in. You see all these like shelves, storage shelves, and you're kind of being brought past them towards the center. Slightly larger space where either the shelves have been removed or maybe for like vehicles to go in and get loaded. There's low light, though there is like some not torches but more like hooded lanterns basically like set up in the center of the space, and you see quite a gathering of people. Not quite the 300 or 3,000 that Bobby was worried about, but very quick count, upwards of 30 people. Nobody heavily armored. Like you see some like pieces of like protection beneath the clothes, but everybody looks like people of the street wearing like street work clothes. A lot of them do seem to hold on to some kind of weapon, either like frankly just like heavy working tool or like comparable like hand bows or like crossbows that Julia had, and they're all like watching you very intently. It's like quiet, intense staring.
Are many people looking at me?
How do you look like right now?
Like my father.
Okay. I mean, a lot of people are looking at you. Make me an insight check. So,
Oh.
just wisdom.
The others are weird.
Especially the ladies in the room.
This is not
Sure.
sight related, so. Best you can tell, like, sure people are looking at you, but nobody seems to go, oh, I know that person.
Alright.
Right? Anything anybody else want to do?
I want to stay close to Bobby if possible.
I mean, it's hard.
Maybe between Bobby and Miles, something like this.
Considering Bobby's size, it's hard to stay away from him, but.
Okay.
You hold hands. Lance, any fancy schmancy, close romancy from you?
No, no. I mean, it's all already on. I'm just watching for now.
You just.
Counting them all, looking for magic. That is more or less all.
Alright. Oh, yeah. Kind of the bugbear like takes you to like the center of this place. Goes. What? No. Have fun, boys. Starts walking away. Really is kind of left behind. Moment where everybody just like, you know, like everybody exchanged tense looks. Moment.
I smile at absolutely every single one who dares to look into my eyes.
Make me an insight check.
Notice wisdom, right?
Bobby, these people are scared. They're nervous. They're nervous as fuck. and like the looks given to you are, what the hell is that?
Just your friendly cowboy.
Cowborg.
Cowboy.
Cowborg. Cyborg? Cowborg. Yeah, Cowborg.
That's an
Or
animal.
Cowbob? I don't know.
Cyboy.
No, that sounds too much like some hentai thing. I don't know. Anyway.
the moment where it feels like the tension rises so high that you can just like cut it with a knife. Hear some footsteps from the side as coming out from like deeper part of the warehouse from the darkness is a robed figure accompanied by a couple more of this slightly better armored individual. The person is dressed in this like dark blue, almost black, just like robe, almost like a clerical robe that just like covers their head and goes down the arms, wide sleeves. The figure carries no weapons that you can see, and walking into the light, looking at it, you see that the robe is embroidered heavily with like some patterns and lines, and looks indeed like more like a ceremonial garb rather than like an armor of any kind. And under the hood is like featureless gilded metal and wood mask with like magical crystal in the middle of where like the eyes would have been.
Can I assess from
yes,
from the walk, like any features, like racial features or something like that? I assume that everything that would allow an immediate assessment is like hidden, covered with cloth or armor or
yes.
the mask.
Do make
He's
me...
not a halfling.
Yeah, do make me like a notice intelligence check as I try to like open the thing that I put.
11.
Right. Yeah. I do remember putting it in. Like, where is? Did I not? Oh right, I put it. There. Oh, there it is.
I feel like we always get ourselves into an uneven matchup between us and like 30 other people.
Yep.
Apologies.
But at least this time we have our weapons and we're not bound.
Exactly.
Oh no. Oh, that is. So this just might come and play. Okay, that is. Okay.
Should we look?
Okay.
Should we look up the rules for assassination?
No.
I just need to hit.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
I actually want to. I actually wanted to look for an individual that was nearby this figure that looked intimidating, and if there wasn't, then just pick that figure, and then not do but set up an execution attack from
Start setting
the
up.
skylight.
Yeah.
I don't want to fire, but I'd like to
It takes you like
You know,
a
'cause it
minute to
became-
do that, right?
Exactly.
Okay. Yeah, you start doing that.
So
Um,
trailing.
Definitely,
Is there like a bodyguard who
definitely
looks slower?
find. Well, there are like people around him looking like bodyguards. Again, like from your current position, like outside, they're all
Cover,
definitely like
yeah.
3/4 cover. So
Yeah, sure, okay.
the difficulty will be like slightly higher. Well, not slightly, but higher than whatever like the default difficulty. So like I guess the difficulty will be like whatever like for long range shot is. I think that would be appropriate for this kind of circumstances. But make me notice check. Like this one is a lot harder because you're far away. It's a bit higher, but
sure.
it's like again like judging the threat levels. Yeah. I'm gonna say like you don't see anybody who's well armored. A bit hard to say about weapons from your position.
Okay. In that case, I'm just gonna do it on the figure, the big boy, mysterious figure.
Okay, and Bobby 11. Right, so yeah, this is, as far as you can tell, like a humanoid. Based on your observation, definitely like none of the small races. Most likely, like 99% not a dwarf. Most likely not an elf, not tall enough. So not necessarily human. It could be like a half orc, half elf, like a lot of human-sized people, but doesn't seem to be to have like any extra limbs or anything. At least it's some kind of humanoid creature. I mean, as far as I know, it could be like a undead underneath that mask, but again, most likely a humanoid undead.
Have I ever seen the rope before, or a rope like that before? Can I place it?
Make me a no check. Intelligence.
None.
You can't be certain, because just like yours, the rectifier cloaks are all unique. Did not look like a uniform. But some of the designs on that rope do feel like Kalkidiki or that kind of culture.
Mm.
So some of your theories might have confirmation, assuming this person didn't steal it from somebody else. You definitely don't recognize like, oh, I have seen this specific rope before. Anyway, like with all of that like movement, tasking and looks, the figure like stops in front of you, and you hear coming from behind that mask that crackling, distorted voice that you have heard previously. Slightly more audible since you are no longer hearing it through a device, but in person, but still unmistakably with the same kind of alteration to it. Which, again, I'm not gonna try and repeat. I also did not record like 100 lines to predict what you're gonna ask me, so just pretend there is alteration. Good night. And thank you for accepting my invitation.
Thank you for eventually accepting to see us.
You have left me no choice. Being so persistent about pursuing me and mine. Speaking of which, he glances towards Julia. Come closer, sister. He comes over, was like looking kind of like nervous or slightly irreverent, maybe. The figure like puts their hands on Julia's shoulders and gives her a good look. I see you have been hurt. Turns back towards the rest of you. There you go. Not as hard as I could have been. I'm fine. Nevertheless, sister, and you lens see, and you will recognize a spell being chanted. Will make me a no magic skill check.
What is that?
Lens, if you want, you can make me as a metapsionics.
Wisdom, I guess? Or what is it?
Intelligence. No magic is almost always going to be intelligent. Lens,
Cool.
definitely a spell being cast.
Yeah,
Winnow,
for sure.
You know this magic, and your guess is immediately confirmed as you see basically like some color return to Julia's cheeks, because she's been quite pale after you've her out, and she lost consciousness multiple times. But this person has just like restored some of her vitality to her.
Has she taken 1 point of strain?
Yes, she falls immediately unconscious.
She falls unconscious.
He marked a spell slot.
Yes.
And did he announce the spell?
Yes, he did announce his spell casting. There it goes.
Do only rectifiers know that?
Thank you. We know, like, you haven't shared this with anybody, but this is definitely a rectifier spell. Not just a healing spell. This is a rectifier spell. This was a reinforcement spell.
Nice.
Julia goes, thank you, I feel much better. Good, sister. You have been very brave tonight. I'm glad to see you return to our ranks unharmed. Well, or at least alive. You may go. I would not put you into further danger. Julia like nods, looks back at all of you, like runs away into the darkness. Well, you seem intent on pursuing the answer to some questions. Intent enough to kidnap my brothers and sisters. None of you belong to this island. Even those of you who are born here should not be here. So why don't I answer your questions? Disperse any bonds you might have to this awful place.
Or?
You know, I think you're alive.
Well, you seem awfully familiar. Are you sure we don't know each other?
Well, considering that you have used some of our order's magic to hide your face, it's hard to guess.
Well, if you don't know this face, then you don't know this face, and I'll turn back. I look a lot less pretty, but I thought you might be a rectifier I knew, so... But you're saying you're not?
I would argue that no, I am not somebody you know.
That sounds rather technical.
It does. But the
Were you
questions you're
at some
asking are
Okay, let me rephrase that.
Not
Were
really.
you at some point somebody else that I maybe have no. Because you obviously changed a lot. Whatever happened to you?
Yes. A lot has happened. And this is not the line of inquiry I am prepared to pursue. For the safety of both our parties. You are not here to get involved in revolution. You're not here to serve the rulers. I hope. You have
Dan, can you turn down the noise gate of your mic a bit? Because sometimes you're cutting out, but maybe that's just for me.
No, yes.
Okay.
Nope.
It's only at the end of a sentence sometimes,
Yes,
like
I
half a word gets swallowed. Thank you.
Where did Lens disappear? He disappeared! He teleported! No! Where was I? Yes. You have been searching for me based on a very specific line of pursuit. I'm prepared to answer those questions. Who am I? What are we doing here? What plans we might have to stop the rulers? I do not believe that is a discussion we should have.
No, but the line was, what's your connection to Winnow's family? How did you come by them or their research? And if you know anything about the incident 20 years ago,
yes,
these are all truths that we are seeking.
I have great respect for the Quinks. I would have hoped to call myself somebody following in their footsteps. A custodian of their legacy. Alas, my skills don't extend quite that far. The Queens had an incredible dream, a miraculous dream, one they have failed to achieve before their lives were snuffed out. I'm not sure if even they could have reached it. I could not. I have recovered parts of her parents' research. Not as much as I wished, and that is part of the reason why I wanted to see you, after having announced yourself so loudly as their son. I have done my own research to recreate as much of it as I could, and use it for my own purposes. You've seen some of the results of my work.
That hurt, yep.
That is an approximate answer to that question. So, yes, the incident. That is a vague question. Perhaps you would prefer to ask more detailed question. For you yourselves have done quite an extensive investigation into the approximate turn of events.
For starters, we were told that the testimony said that the perpetrator only killed one of them. He was insisting on that. So how can you be sure that both of them were killed? How do you know more than the person who did it?
While trying to recover the Quinric research, I have grasped at every straw that could have led to a survivor. I hope to meet you, though not under such circumstances. But I have found no evidence that would lead me to believe that either of your parents are alive.
Can I insight check this whole guy?
Sure.
Like, what's the insight check again?
Notice.
Notice wisdom.
Notice wisdom. Like if he's full of shit, or if something doesn't add up. Fucking cool music, man.
Mm-hmm.
Not shooting.
You do not detect any outright lies in the statement of this figure, though you do get a feeling that they're choosing their words very deliberately.
When exactly have you recovered their research? Their quarters was torched aflame.
But you must have heard about the research lab that had outside of Nachmafen.
And how would you come by to know about that?
Same way you did, asking, looking for clues. There are people who have worked with the Quinrix that have shared some information with me. I have not recovered their research on a specific day. It's been years of inquiries and piecing back together from whatever information I could find for. The actual data on the research is still contained within that facility that I cannot access. Facility that does contain, till today, the true legacy of your parents. The form that they have conceived for it, the form that I have been unable to find. I know where this facility is located. I would bring you to it if we could agree upon certain points.
Which are?
Well, I wish to know more of your desires. Some of you come here seeking resolution, though apparently not vengeance, not anymore. Some of you are here to protect their family. That part is a lot more complicated. I'd wish to speak to both of you, to see where you stand in this conflict, what you wish. And perhaps those things could be exchanged for the information I possess. Perhaps you could persuade me of the wrongness of my actions. Perhaps I could persuade you of the depths of your delusions.
You seek to overthrow the Rubers and give the control to the people. What does that mean?
We are not intending to stop at the Rubers. Your family is, well, special, as a matter of fact, by being better than the rest of their peers. But they are not an exemption. What do I mean? It is as complicated and as simple as what you've said. I seek the end of the undead's rule. I wish for life to be returned into the hands of the living. I have many reasons for that.
Does that mean that you gained the control?
Oh, I am not qualified to rule an island.
So you seek to call war upon the Emperor?
I dream that one day I'll hold the power for that, yes. Though for now I am quite satisfied with getting just enough power to bring some justice to these people who have been scorned by your family's kind.
I see, and the only way to resolve that conflict is to remove all Arisen from the face of the plane.
It is this is not a revolution for the sake of power. This is not a civil war for the sake of wealth or control. This is a battle for the
Vengeance.
It is vengeance, yes. That is the foremost reason that binds us all to this accursed land, and that alone is sufficient for wanting to do what we wish. And yet, beyond that, and address to all of you, what we wage here is a war for the survival of the humanoid kind as a species. You laugh.
Yeah, do.
Well, and perhaps you have not studied your history well.
Yeah, I definitely haven't learned to count 1 and 1 and get 5, so no, I agree.
What I seek to do is to somehow find perhaps a path between the two sides. A path that perhaps, now that I've seen and heard you, might seem a bit too far. As you say, you are all motivated by vengeance at the end of the day. So working with the other side is almost non-negotiable. Though I hope it is.
I mean, I think you can't have it all. I think you need to choose between vengeance and preserving life. I don't think you can have both. If you want your vengeance, I think you're all gonna die. That's just from the outside. If I had to bet, the most likely outcome. And we all know what civil war means. Lots of people gonna die. Is that what you really want? Can't believe your rectifier wants to be honest with you.
Do not preach to me about the morals of our order. You know that there are those amongst our kind that preach for means far more evil than that which I offer.
So that's your excuse then? There are other evil people, so you can be evil too? Doesn't make it right? At all?
It does not.
I mean,
But
root undeath, the undeath,
you
or undead, that's great, honestly, but not at the price of killing everyone around you.
why do you presume that I seek the death of my fellow people?
No, you don't seek it, but there will be casualties, lots of casualties.
There are already casualties. I understand your argument. It is a safe life for now.
No, I'm not arguing to keep it as it is. I'm saying what Miles is speaking of, maybe an alternative to your all or nothing approach.
The only alternative to the death of the undead is their throughout exodus from our land.
Okay,
Tell me, son of
now
Reuben,
we're getting somewhere.
do you believe even your parents would agree to that?
To the Exodus, perhaps no. But I don't think they would be shy of the proposition of some talks and to find
Yes.
a better solution than just all-out killings.
Answer me another question. On this island, or you must have met with them in your youth, how many of the barons and other lesser nobles under your parents' rule, how many of them do you believe would be also agreeable to such talks? Would your sister?
That depends. But that's exactly is my point. You see all of them as one, and you judge all of them as one.
Because they are one.
Well, I did that too, and here before you stands someone who is different. I can tell you that much.
Your bonds to this island are
Not me, him. I don't give a shit about this place.
exactly. You know not this land. You, what, have met a couple vampires that have glamored you with their pretty words. That is how they work. You do understand that.
Well, I actually met a couple of vampires that glamored me with their actions and saved my life, like, multiple times.
What have they stood to gain from it?
My support, for example, in this talk, for example. My openness to negotiating with them.
So you have not come here with desire for revenge in your heart. You wish no reparations for the fate of your parents.
Initially I did. That's why I left, actually. But I've seen both sides, and I see where those roads lead, like I don't want to do the same thing. And if I see it through, then I would be like you. I would need to kill every undead, and some of my friends here too, I guess. So
Make me a dog check.
I'm not. Oh fuck.
I mean, you have an 18 charisma now.
Oh yeah, sure. You said it's 2 things. Dog, charisma.
Wait, do you have 18 charisma?
Yeah, I got the manifest aspect.
Oh, it's like it's as a change, right?
Yeah.
Well, then I'm glad to hear it. And if you truly have resolved your connection to this land, then you should leave it as quickly as you can, or it will bring in nothing but more pain and suffering. I see that those of you who are invested do not see their reasons the way I do. Understand why? For some of you, they are family. For the rest, though you may have been taught to hate them, or whatever place you come from, a taught hatred cannot take root. And I am sincerely glad to hear it. For when the forest burns, we need the seeds to grow anew. And it brings me joy to know that those seeds would hold no hate. But both of you, even you, son of rumors, with all the education you must have received from your parents, all the preparation, are fundamentally wrong about the nature of the vampire.
What makes you so qualified to say that? Have you lived amongst them? Have you talked to even one face to face?
Are you a vampire?
Now that would have been quite a
plot
twist. No, I am not a vampire.
Inside check.
Go for it.
That's wisdom. Shit.
You recognize his voice. It's Baron O'Quail.
Ah, fuck.
It is Trago's father. It is Trago's mother. It is Trago's baby brother. Is it a 5? Yes, a 5. You detect no lies, though, you know, he with a mask, with a distorted voice, it is pretty hard to judge without any facial features. No. But I have lived among them longer than you have. And I have given to them much.
Can I ask you why you are wearing a mask? You're leading these people, right? Why with a mask?
Because my identity would endanger both myself, this cause and every single person in this.
It also makes it easy for you to escape blame when you lead your people inevitably into slaughter.
Dan, are the rest of the people with masks?
No.
Okay.
Sorry if that sounds too critical, but
Oh, you raise valid questions. Questions that you weren't the first to raise. But we have stayed together through thick and thin. My brothers and sisters have seen me sacrifice.
How long have you been living on Achtschaffen? You're not originally from here, are you?
I'm not. And I've been traveling, seeing the world for what it may offer. But I've been bound to this island for a few good decades. Here and there between my research into the nature of vampirism.
A few decades. So were you here 20 years ago?
On this island, yes.
Did you have any contact with his parents? Any exchange of words?
An exchange of ideals.
Have you seen eye to eye?
I have sincerely hoped for their dream to succeed. For while I seek the removal of their death, I do not necessarily desire its destruction. I did see the curse they offered as a viable alternative, a way for their reason to join us, to breathe in life, to feel and be alive again. But, well, man supposes, God disposes. The Ankharat has chosen not to give the resolution to the Quinric legacy. Though, seeing you before my eyes, perhaps it is not the end.
Have you heard of the results of the practice of their research?
Do you mean aside from the Quinrics being murdered in cold blood?
Yes. Aside from that.
It has failed.
How so?
Well, there are no horizon turning back into the people, are there?
No. They've lost their souls. Which by most people, I think, would be even worse than death. Or undeath, for that matter.
So, you understand that little of your family's nature.
I'm not thinking they will turn into living again. I'm not suggesting that. But their research leads to those means. And we've seen how unhesitant you are to use certain tools that might do such harm.
I hate to disappoint you, son of Rubers. But the parents who gave birth to you have been dead for as long as you live. That's where we're gonna take a break.
Mm-hmm.
And we're back after the great statement
Right.
by the prelate.
So, you say my parents that birthed me are long dead, but the parents that raised me are still among us. Birthing a child is relatively easy. It takes 9 months. Raising a child, however, is much harder. But forget about that. What do you want from that laboratory and in exchange of pointing us into that direction?
I wish for you to finish your business on this island and move on.
Unfortunately, you are my business.
Unfortunate indeed.
Let me try and organize my thoughts here a bit. Your motives, as you say, are not for power, but for vengeance. And all you're offering is war and death against my family and the Empire, and eventually the Empire, as you said, for the promise of satiating said vengeance against those that even haven't harmed you. As you mentioned yourself, my parents are the best of the worst, and I've also heard that from Julia. And instead of thinking of talking or taking upon yourself instead of taking this futile path of death and destruction, why not take the path of peace, prosperity? Why default your ways to violence when reason could be utilized?
Yes.
It's not out of the question to have an
Reason.
understanding between the ruling faction and yourselves.
Yet you conveniently ignore the century of slowly drawn out genocide against humanoids. The poison that your family seeps into this island with their very existence. The whales of curses and glamour that spin like webs across every living creature.
And what are those exactly? Are your lives here not good?
Have you ever wondered why your parents so rarely leave their estate? Have you wondered why there is a rather accurately sized garden around it? Have you wondered why the plants around your home are dead, shriveled? I have been born with a gift, though when I reached this island I saw it to be a curse. I can see the colors of magic in all its forms. Vampirism is a curse.
It's a gift.
That is what your parents call it, yes. But by its nature, by its definition, in simple academic and magical terms, it is a curse, not unlike that of lycanthropy. Though it is far harder to remove. And while being as violent, this curse is fed upon death itself, upon entropy, and it bleeds into the world around it. You have not seen vampires with the eyes I've seen them, for they are terrifying beyond any imagination. They are a bundle of disgusting, wild, repulsive arcane energy that is so unrecognizable from what is supposed to be a soul. The only mercy I have for it is a piece of non-existence. And this magic spills into the world around them. Wherever they walk, the land dies. That is why the vampires confine themselves to their lairs, so that the cattle in their pen does not die as quickly. Have you not ever wondered why the people of Nakshafen look the way they do? Have you watched the records of how we've changed across the century? The medical records, the necrosis, the death of young children. Your parents are putting in work to reduce the numbers to acceptable levels within natural fluctuations. They are the only ones who do that. Whoever were your parents, their souls have been dead the moment they accepted this gift. Whatever they were replaced with are not human souls, not mortal souls. The vampire souls, and I put that into large quotation marks, are curse incarnate. You never make a deal with the devil, because by their definition, the devils are evil. That is how our world was created. There are gods in the heavens, their loyal servants, and devils from beneath to tempt us. And when a demon or a devil stops being evil, they stop being a devil. That is the same nature with the vampires. They are evil. Not by choice, by the nature of their creation. They have no emotions. They have no heart. They have no feelings. They are a husk of their mortal memories, inhibited by the curse. Not inhibited, inhabited by the curse. Worn like a mask, obsessed with whatever memory is the strongest in their mind, but moved ultimately and unstoppably towards their desires. Your parents must have spoken to you about the curse. They must have spoken about the thirst and the beast within them. The reason for your trials, the selection process for your family. Many of those who have not survived the gift were killed because they could not control the beast. The truth is, you cannot control the beast, you can only delay it. Every vampire ends.
I could bring the same argument against humans. A lot of humans tend to go and murder one each other, or fornicate, or whatever. And you cannot control the beast. You can only push back a bit.
Men are not born evil, they are raised evil. The vampires, they are created from evil, and they are infused with it. Your perception would have changed were you able to see what I see, though even upon you I do not wish them. We in a reason, we cannot compromise, because what we want are not the same things. The humanoids fight for the same resources. Thus we can understand each other, we can empathize with each other, we can compromise. The vampires, they do not want that which we want. They are the new apex predator on top of the food chain. But they're not beasts, they're not part of the circle of life. They are parasites that feed upon the creation of others. Undeath is stagnation. Undeath is the perfect order, unchanging, unyielding. The death of everything alive. Once you stop changing, once you stop evolving, well, life ceases. And that is the order the vampires wish upon the world, to be filled with undeath, or its mirror image, and whatever the people of Nagtraken have been turned into. That is what I speak of when I mention the survival of humanoids as a species. Once their reason take over the world, and they will, because they are eternal, all of the living will turn into cattle. We will be taken. Our minds will be taken. With every year we fight back less and less. My metaphor for humans as cattle is not exaggerated. The comfort we give to actual cows and chicken is only as much as we need to give them to ensure they survive and can feed us with their bodies. The only reason that we the living are given slightly more is because we still have minds. Were there reason capable of holding us in tiny pens and thinking and worrying, they would have done so. Indeed, many of them do. The dream of your family is interesting. And I see what they might try to pursue, what new breed of horizons they may try to engineer. But the world of Horizon is not a united front. There are dozens of others who vie for your parents' life or their position. They will not survive until the end of their unnatural lifespan. They will be killed by another reason. Imagine it happens in a year. Imagine your sister takes over as the rightful heir. Do you think she will pursue the same policies your parents did? What do you think would happen to the people of Nagtraken? Starting tomorrow, the new ruler says that it is a free hunting ground. When we have already been turned into these accepting, docile, not fighting creatures.
They wouldn't last long.
Indeed.
Vampires are reliant in working together with the living. For with no blood, they cannot exist. It's in their interest that you prosper, live well.
In certain numbers. We raise our chicken over the year to be slaughtered before Christmas.
It's a lot less slaughter and more like eggs, unfertile eggs.
For now. The day it stops being so will be too late. That is a problem. Your parents are an exception. One that I cannot rely upon.
The problem is the imminent fear you spread. You say, what if, what if? We can't rely on the Rubers to continue their current legacy, for others might take their place, so we must kill the Rubers before they're killed by others and take their place, and from there expand to others, more monstrous arisen. You talk in riddles, you mask your face, you speak in vague terms and promises, all of your goal of war against vampires and leading your followers to the binary mindset of kill or be killed. There's no middle ground.
Because there is none. There cannot be two creatures coexisting at the top of a food chain. And so long as it remains a food chain, that is how it will be.
Not in your eyes. Blinded eyes, might I add. But perhaps others here might find a reason within my words. I see there's no, sadly, coming to an agreement with you, for you seek no agreement.
Indeed. We see not eye to eye.
But where I come and offer to talk and understand and reason, you offer a closed door and a promise of violence.
Your offering is no different from the glamour that your parents offer. It is no substance. It is, yet again, mere promise. You come to me, not even with words, but with promise of words. You have no...
I come to you with a different path you show to your followers. The only path you show to your followers.
You have no path. You have no control. You have no responsibility and no authority. You're not your parents. You're not even in a reason. You're a young, sheltered child that has no understanding of what your family is. And I will not be placated with empty promises. Especially since they come only in the moment when we finally hold power. Once we relinquish it, there will be no conversation. You know the kinds of effort one needs to put in to destroy a singular reason. Your father could walk into this room and nobody would leave it alive, even if we both were to join forces. To you, we know. You do know that your parents' death was not merely performed by any reason, but instigated and plotted by another. Your parents were killed in power struggle between the vampires, so that one of them could gain a little bit more power.
Care to be specific?
We know of this. He speaks of Famke. It was
Alright.
in their interest that Von Hal will, the last male baron of Lamia, will disappear, so the Sisterhood might.
Oh yeah, right.
She
Take
did
control.
far more than that. He reaches into his pouch, inside, and takes out two small crystals, and
But how would
throws
you
them
know
in your
this?
direction. We know.
I try to catch.
You can fumble and catch both of them. That is
Are these
all
worth anything?
I was able to extract from my parents' database. But that alone has told me much. There should now be 2 notes in journal, notes and records, Queen Rick Lab, developing new magic, and sponsor.
Hmm.
Can you read them?
Yeah. Does everybody have them? No,
Only you.
I guess not.
No.
I mean, up to you if you want to release them, but
Sure. I would share sooner or later. Can you share that? Or so.
read them first.
Okay.
As like you plug them into your data device and start scrolling through basically like logs or records dated about 20 plus something years ago and signed with your parents' signature.
Oh,
You request of us to give your family a chance. But for every man and woman in this room that have given your family a chance, your family has chosen to stand by the side of their kind. So while your family may be a new type of rulers, more efficient, more glamorous one, their souls are just as evil as every single one I have. There was a promise of a cure, a resurrection of the souls that your parents have once were. That hope is lost because of another vampire, fighting another vampire, in the land of another vampire, with their tacit approval and lack any justice or responsibility was an incredible dream spilled upon this. Another generation, 2, 3, and you will not see the difference between a living human of Nachtschaffen and the synth ghoul created in parents' name. The dark magic binds us all, flows in our veins, poisons our mind. We will never cleanse us. But now we could learn to live with it, if we act. Well, have you finished?
yeah.
Well,
I guess I would pass them around.
there is more information in your parents' laboratory. Hopefully even whatever records they've left of the true research. Not complete, but perhaps sufficient to resume it. The only one who can reach that information is you. Your parents
Yes.
made it so. I see you deliberating violence. But you see that's the only way to secure your family. With my death, you will not save your family. But you will lose any chance to recover the Quinric legacy.
Am I understanding this correctly that Famke essentially lured your parents into her house to get them killed? Or was she, or is Famke honestly interested in this?
As I have said, the records I've recovered are incomplete. There are far more logs still hidden within your parents' laboratory. But judging by the turn of events, this Famke has intended to use your parents as a weapon against the Van Hal. I don't think she has expected the outcome, but she has succeeded nonetheless. Even now she sits upon the island of Lemmer, beneath her mistress, enjoying the spoils. The weapons I have created are sufficient to destroy vampires like her. The only weapon sufficient to do that. I will not ask of you, Winnow, to join my quest, my crusade of contempt. But recover your parents' legacy. Let me continue it. Perhaps there is an alternative. Perhaps, given a little bit more time, your parents' research could be completed. I will not promise that the miracle of your parents' legacy I will give freely to the vampires. But as you say, it is better than war. You do not have to dirty your hand to take on my sins. I do not ask that. Do not let all your parents stood for be wasted.
Well, I think we can certainly take a look, but I don't think we can make any promises. If there is truly a weapon, then
What I have created
I'm not
is a
sure
weapon.
it's.
What your parents have thought was a cure.
Yeah.
I ask for no promises. You are a bright mind, an honor, the pride of your order. A whole different ideals from me, and I am glad to hear that your heart is not bound by revenge. Although it is only words, I truly am glad that you have moved past it.
Somebody has to.
Did.
Well, tell you what. Why don't you show me that thing and we see what can be done, and we go from there.
I do not see it as the son of Rubers is persuaded. He knows that if I let you see that, you may open a box he will not be able to close.
I trust Pinel. I don't trust you, though.
And I do not trust the mission your parents must have imposed upon you, for they would not have given you the freedom you enjoy right now. I wonder why you haven't killed me still. Stop this rebellion in its tracks.
Just shows you the truth in my words.
So be it. Let us see with your own eyes how mistaken you are.
Let's.
I imagine at least one of the people around us has a pitchfork. At least one.
No pitchforks, but they're like those things you use to like shovel coal.
Right.
So not quite a pitchfork, but still.
Okay.
So,
Poker, yeah, basically.
the place.
Yes, the place. Let us go there. For it is not easily found. The prelate like turns 180.
Dan, after all this talk, have I ever studied or I know that what he says about the death magic or whatever is true?
Make me no intelligence check. What you roll?
Ugh.
I mean, your parents have spoken about the willpower required to accept the gift and to control it and to control the gift, not let it control you. You've had some theories that align with what he speaks of, like that's why the parents put so much focus on mental fortitude. But they have never spoken to you that vampirism is like a vile, evil curse, that it is not a gift.
Affects the
but
people.
A beast, that it replaces a soul, overrides mind. They never said it. The thing that like that your garden is kind of like dead is true. There is like about like a couple 100 meters like area around your mansion where like nothing lives. It's like pavement and like dead roses. And it is also true that your parents very rarely go outside of their estate to meet somebody. Usually somebody comes to that estate, including like other reasons that they might have traveled, like for any business or whatever. Yeah, that is true.
But okay, basically, yeah. I guess I'm trying to understand if my parents are radiation, and if I'm living next to them as a child, gets any effect from that.
Well, I mean, it is quite convenient how suddenly you can summon this blade of darkness. And Lance has described it in a rather disturbing nature, according to his side.
So it is radiation. Okay.
It is what it is. Alright, any Dalu, any executions?
In all this time, he's blinked like once. He's just watching him. and
You've
he's trying to
basically like
separate the
been
room.
seeing like very like conversations that went from like calm to both sides beginning to like gesticulate and move around, and like when the prelate like threw the stuff at Winnow, you're like, oh, okay, that wasn't a weapon. But considering your distance, you definitely didn't hear any of that.
Yes, I suspect.
So you're just like,
yeah. So I'm basically watching him, the group, and then occasionally looking around the room to make sure there's no other people that are watching or planning something. And then sometimes I'll get bored and I'm trying to read their lips to see what's going on. But yeah, that's all, I'm not doing anything.
You do notice definitely at some point, like as the conversation grew more and more heated, or like the gesticulation, you did notice that the like patrol people on the walkways kind of started slacking off a little bit and like stop too much to listen, which makes your job a lot easier. But yeah, nobody has noticed.
good. Yeah, I'm not
Right.
moving. Just
So the prelate has
focusing
turned
on that.
around, preparing to move towards the back of the warehouse.
We follow, I guess.
While this is happening, I'll side next to Lance and ask what I think about all this bullshit.
I think my man's very convinced of whatever he believes in. He sounds like one of those crazy people who tell you there's a dragon in the sewers, you know?
Hey,
To be honest.
are you talking about Miles or are you talking about the prelate?
The prelate.
Okay.
Did I sound like that?
You don't hear that. Right?
Yeah,
You're
I know, I
out
know.
of hearing your shot.
Miles, make me another intelligence check. Okay.
Solid 4s.
You haven't heard about any dragons in the sewers. Alright. So you follow the prelate, and like not every person in the warehouse like moves with you, but a significant portion of them do. And exiting through the back of the warehouse, you come across like multiple large, basically necrobuses that must have been, I know, retrofitted or whatever by the Scorned to like move people around. I mean, these are literally like the city carriage buses, just stolen or bought, sure.
Mm-hmm.
And Rail goes, follow us by whatever means you desire. We will travel towards that laboratory and await your arrival if you choose not to come with us directly. Know, though, that the timetable is moving, and if I am not persuaded of a possibility for something actionable, not just promise of promises that the Son of Ruba offers me, our plan will continue. And Nachtschaffen is bought on Nachtschaffen was built on catacombs. Not even your family knows where they all lead. He turns around once again and gets on one of the buses, like some people take. Spread into the second and the third bus. There is space for you. Like, for not Bobby to get. Well, I mean, Bobby could get on the bus. I mean, technically, he could get on the bus if he squeezes through the door. It's just gonna sink a little bit. But, I mean, the bus can technically carry Bobby.
I could. I mean, if it carries me, I would go with him.
Can we sit in the backside so we're the cool kids?
I could also bubble cup up and fly next to it.
Wait, they said don't do that.
I mean, I could tell them that I'm gonna fly next to them.
Okay.
What are they gonna do? Shoot me? Bitch ass motherfucker's gonna get killed if they do that. I'll just sit in the wagon and be an inconvenience to them.
You basically like have to kind of like sit in the in the passageway, yeah. But I mean, these are like buses built to like carry like 20-30 people. They can take you, like just like nobody sits next to you, so that makes it a bit.
I'll lie down so my weight is in a split. I will sit in a split so the weight is.
You bun down in the bus. Does the rest of you like join Bobby in the bus?
Yeah.
What about Dalo? What's Dalo doing?
I mean, if I see the group follow and travel, well, I'm gonna go, oh shit, and then I'm gonna carefully get off the roof, run down the wall, run to the trees, and then mentally take note of where they are, and then run to hire a horse as fast as I can. I'm gonna and if I don't see like a stable, I'm gonna go up to a randomer and I'm gonna go, here's 50 credits, and I'm gonna try and buy the horse off him like right there.
50 credits.
I don't know what the going rate is.
Right, lovely. What
Awesome.
to do? Okay, you're trying to find it. Let's go. Fuck.
Let's go fuck, you all heard it.
Mm-hmm.
Off we go.
Ooh. Jeez, Louise. Fuck. Let's say trade with intelligence or
Trade.
charisma.
I think 3/4 of the skill list you could have picked and it would have been the exact same stats.
Sure, I mean it's definitely not sneak or shoot, so
Alright, let's see here.
You could sneak a horse out of him.
Trade. Intelligence.
okay.
Oh,
Oh,
not bad.
Okay.
average.
You hire a skeletal horse for what it is. And I assume like try to gallop back to where the buses are.
Yeah, so when I was seeing them walk towards this bus and they're like following, and I run immediately. So now I'm heading to where that bus was parked on the horse.
Make me a pilot skill check with dexterity or wisdom.
Dexterity or wisdom, okay.
Oh, lovely. Okay. So, despite this being
Okay,
the
ride a
first
horse.
time you, well, I think this is the first time you're driving or guiding an undead horse. You do surprisingly well, and you actually manage to like basically return just in time, like see the buses can like depart and like go down the road, so you can like slow down and okay, I see them, I can follow them. You're not sure they won't see you, but at least you see them.
Yeah, I have black. It's like nighttime, and I have a black cloak, and all my stuff's hidden underneath it.
And you
And I'm just
are
like
riding
at
a white
a
skeletal horse.
trot or something. Well, that's normal here, right?
Sure.
I think.
Sure.
Okay. So, yeah, I'm going at an average speed, just like I'm busy. I'm a busy guy,
Right.
maybe a merchant.
So the buses take off, and after about 10 minutes of movement, they come outside of the city area and go into suburbs. Start going like down the highway leading away from Nachtschafin, but not in the direction of the port, like in the opposite direction. And the hills are dark, but by now you can kind of like see the very hints of an approaching sunrise. It's beginning to lighten up, but no sun yet. Which does make the job a bit easier for you, Dalu, to follow them. But admittedly, there are not many other vehicles or like transportation devices or undead horses on the road. So the further and further you make it away from the city, the more suspicious your following them will be. So you're not sure how long you'll be able to maintain like illusion of.
I will once we go into really rural areas, I'll start taking the occasional risk where I'll even let them go out of sight and try to guess the route. So I'm like half confident, just to make sure That's if there's absolutely nobody.
Yeah, make me one more like pilot check to see like how successful you are at like tailing them, like that.
Pilot, okay.
All right. And indeed, the buses do start going towards more and more rural area, though it seems enough sharpened that you get into rural spaces very quickly here. Still, you travel for about 45, 50 minutes, you think, as the sun like finally begins peeking above the hills and base before the buses go off the highway or like paved road and down onto the dirt road and into the hills. Like start digging through the mud and like really messing it up and going deeper into the hills. At this point, Dalu, you've lost them. You don't see the buses anywhere. Like you gallop for like a good 5 minutes, get on the crest of a hill, do a very good look around. Actually, make me a notice check.
Come on, baby. No.
Do like a 360. No sign of those vehicles. No tracks on the paved road. The rest of you, in the buses, travel between hills until you reach what now that the buses are like circling here must have at some point been not a parking spot, but well, at least like a dirt patch where vehicles must have moved a lot as the buses stop between a rather large misshapen mound. People begin to disembark as you leave the bus and come face to face with Prelate once again. He points towards the hill, the mound behind him, now like taking on this like reddish hue as the sun begins to rise and illuminate it. This is where your parents have conducted their research, hidden from the hall of Nachtschaffen by the efforts of Lady Famke. A tomb for their dreams. It consists of 3 large chambers have detected within the mounds, 3 entrances. We've stopped in front of one of them, though we can encircle the mound and find the second and the third. This is where I have been stopped for your parents before their murder. Have cast complicated magic upon these doors to prevent anyone with their own bloodline from entering the mound. There is no doubt that now that I have shown this space to the son of the Rubers, the vampires would find it, and with their prowess they will dispel this magic and make their way inside. But in this morning, in this very place, you, Winala, the only one, can access the area. As far as I know, all entrances lead into the same core, though which one of them leads to which rooms contains which research I do not know.
All right. Oh, Give it a try. Be nice to each other, I guess.
So,
How does it work? Would it just unlock for me and then lock again? I don't know.
I should be moving you to a new page on Roll20, which doesn't show much. Basically, right now, let's say you're standing in the run of entrance 1. You may choose to move to another entrance.
Just
I think on
try
that,
this entrance.
Dalo, you're lost.
Can I
What do you do?
call Lance? Can I call Lance's compound?
Let me think for a moment. Yes, it should be still within your cell range.
Okay. So it rings.
Hello?
And before I say something, Dan, was there a noticeable landmark at the moment where I lost the carriage?
What was that? 5?
Like a big
Yes,
rock or a
like there was like
big
a
tree.
hill, and it was next to a hill, and it was covered by grass and like some fields.
Mm-hmm.
And you passed by like a
Yes.
thatched roof village house. The third one, you think?
Oh fuck.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Make me a survival skill check with wisdom.
Oh, sure.
Yes. As I have just
Right.
described.
Perfect. Uh,
Actually, you
Would
have you
tra-
passed that hill already once?
would tracking give him a plus whatever because it's sight?
No. This is more like reading the land.
Okay.
Lance, speaker,
Mhm. What?
speaker, or no?
No.
Okay, I'm fucking. I don't know where the fuck I am. I went. I'm on hill number something, and I just passed this village, and people are giving me looks. I'm standing. I'm walking circles around this poor old
More
woman's
accurate
house, and I
representation.
think she thinks I'm stalking her.
Wait, you passed the village?
Yeah,
don't
I
think we
just passed
the
this.
village.
You didn't pass the village. Oh shit!
I,
You're gonna
I'm-
put the phone
I
down for a second. Go.
don't
No, I'm not
think-
gonna be here long. Okay.
No, definitely. I can't remember the village.
Oi, Ravna, what are you standing there on my land for? Go kick around, are you?
Look.
What do you want?
Look, I won't be here long. I'm trying to, Lance.
Yeah.
Okay. Look, fuck off. I'll be gone in a sec.
Oh, fuck you off!
I just stand there and like try to keep this fucking horse like calm, and I don't know what to
It's
feed
not a
it.
horse, it's a dead horse.
Dead horse.
Is there such a interesting question? Is there such a thing as location data that I can send him? Probably not.
GPS.
I think from the time frame of technology we agreed upon, that would be outlandish.
There's definitely no
somewhere.
GPS.
While I'm talking to Lance,
I
can
mean,
I
there's
do a
locate
flashback?
creature spell that I don't think you have.
Could I do a flashback? I had this on my person, and now it's on the ship. It's a nav comp, a navigation, computer. I think it's in the equipment.
What does it do?
And it's on the ship, I'll tell you right now. I have the thing open.
A character with an
Where the
FCOM will
hell?
never get lost in worlds with GPS satellites. You technically do get a +1 to your survival skill check, yeah.
Whoa! So I get a 7.
7.
Whoa! That's something? Okay, never mind. Okay, so if I were, how long can you stay on the phone, Lance? If I go to the point I lost you and I just start saying what I see, could you think you can talk me through it?
I'm gonna be very honest here. You know, I was sitting in the back of a bus. It wasn't exactly like I was intently watching my route here, especially since, you know, I don't have much trouble getting back to places I've been. So
Can I?
let me.
Can
I have an
I
idea. I'll just
can I
hand off my phone to Bobby.
Can I flashback and before we went into the first
Buses.
building, create like a navigation beacon that Dalu would be able to track with my with the feet that I have? Probably not, right?
Oh,
So this is
wow.
probably pushing the bit a bit what would be considered. I don't know. I just don't want Jamie to be excluded from the next part.
I would allow you
Just
to
because-
do that for 1 second.
3 strain.
Bobby goes unconscious.
2 strain.
Okay. Yep.
You cannot even be healed. Oh shit.
Can you only take 3 strain?
Yep.
Jeez. Wow.
You had
Yep.
1 strain already?
And
Nope.
Dalu, you need to take 1 strain for actually having the nav beacon to follow. The nav computer.
The Navcom, yeah, I can carry that. Okay. Well, I'm
Wait,
encumbered.
at 3 strain you fall unconscious, or over
You
that
don't fall unconscious, you just stop getting healed.
Oh, okay. Okay, so you can
You
get
can't
healed.
get healed once you max out a strain, you can't get healed, and like anything that would impose strain on you, you just can't use basically.
Okay.
So how
And
does
do
this
remember that
work?
nav
How does
computer
your
might
feet work?
weight some, so I don't know how that works with your current encumbrance and if you can fit it in your backpack, but be aware of that.
I'll take the phone of Lance and say, click on search bacon. Wait for the device. The device is called
I need
Crystal
a pair.
Dick Lord
Did you get a
69.
code? Did you get a code?
Yeah, the password is lick my titties please 6969 420 12 inches but limp.
Wow.
That's for sure your email
You know,
password, I'm pretty sure.
Lucas, if you ever ask me a question, hey DM, can I, using my feet, create a jackhammer? It's gonna be a jackhammer.
Oh,
12 inches limp, yes. Anyway, continue.
Okay, I've paired. I think it's done. It's gone through.
Yeah. Start
Alright.
walking.
So what do I see? I just see I just know where it is.
Well, you have
Yeah,
direction
yeah.
on your nav computer.
Okay, cool, yeah.
Yeah, it's like I send you my geolocation on WhatsApp, where you can track it like for an hour or something before it's switched off.
Bobby is his own
Alright.
satellite.
Thanks, guys. Smooch. I'll see you there.
Kisses.
Bye.
See ya.
Winnel, what are you doing in the process while all of that is happening in the background?
Aggressively.
This door does require your biological material to open.
I'll be right back.
Alright, so let's pretend that's him running off to like check all the 3 entrances. You do know you could have just used your blood. Or just like a piece of hair. Very well, very well. I do not judge.
It's like, oh, that'd be.
I can't do it while all 3 buses are looking at me.
Please enter your password.
Our order does teach us love, not war. That's not the
Sound
literal.
effect.
Please insert your key.
Only 3 inches. Truly, you are our bloodline. Oh,
Sorry.
boy.
Way.
You got me with the cheek, dude.
I'm glad I missed that one, honestly.
Yeah, you should be.
So, Bobby, can you do your scanning magic again? Just so we know what's up there.
I mean, these people might get a bit
I don't give a shit.
tingly. Okay.
They're fine. He's gonna do some. Relax.
Yep. Folks, I'm gonna transform. I'm
He's
not gonna shoot
scanning-
you.
No
I'm
harm
just-
done.
Yeah. So, chill. Okay. I start transforming.
Folks aren't chilling, but the prelate does. Let it be, brothers and sisters. And for 15 seconds you transform.
Yeah, and once I'm transformed, I wanna. I'm pretty sure that my scanners won't be able to penetrate this. Something tells
You
me.
ping your scanners and
yeah.
you get the outlying map of like the hills, like within 100 meters. You like ping the second and the third entrance, but like this is not arcanotech. This is magic. Like this is good old reliable magic. You're not even sure you could like well, eventually you might brute force through it, but
May take a while.
more like
Okay.
bring your ship here and start blasting a while.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I will tell Winnow. Yeah, there's no chance of me penetrating this.
Okay, then I'll try my luck and I guess let nobody in.
So which entrance?
The one we're at, because I don't yet have another reason to choose another one. I don't know. What can I do?
Choose an entrance.
Yeah, but then what?
I don't know.
Then die if you get it wrong. It's that easy.
No, you.
No, there's
when-
one for the Germans. Ob du wirklich richtig stehst?
Mm,
Wow!
Uh-huh.
Really? Really, guys?
That's what you call Dan? Come on.
In my campaign?
I'm sorry. There's a like a kids show where the kids have to answer
Freaking
questions
awesome.
by standing in front of
Oh,
one of the
okay,
3
okay.
doors,
Mini, 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 mo.
and then.
Yeah, something like this.
But then there's a song that says, "You'll know if you're standing in the correct place when the light turns on," and there's a nice
Okay.
like tune to it. And that's yeah, I don't know.
And then
it's a
there's
childhood
just
thing.
for 10 seconds, there's just children running around crazily, like ants on fire,
Don't they always
trying
do
to
that?
find the right position.
Anyway,
Well,
We
yeah,
know.
but
make your choice.
yeah, I'm checking the door. Fuck it.
You walk up to the door and like, oh, why do you like start? Well,
I tried to open the door. Like, does it have a hinge? Like,
no, it just like like runk, and there's basically like so draw on this. So like basically the doors go kind of like this. There's basically like a magic stone in the middle. The door is like this.
I don't know what I'm looking at. Okay.
And yeah, you're like there's no keyhole,
I
nothing.
put my hand on that thing.
You put your hand on that thing
Touchy touch.
and you see it can like light up, and you kind of get this feeling of like comparable to how you feel whenever you use whatever the spell called that like allows you to medicine somebody, like fictitious scan, whatever. I don't remember how it's called.
Truth of flesh and bone, yeah.
And you feel like you're being subjected to that, and you know how that feels because like you've been taught that basically in at home, and yeah. And then the door just goes. I just feel like air rushing in, and there's just an entrance in front of it. I guess a chamber.
Hey, guys,
You
Can you-
want to go in alone?
no, I need my team.
Okay.
Avengers, assemble.
Okay.
But
I
do you
don't
not
know.
desire
I watched that one.
vengeance?
That was exactly what was on my mind too.
Yeah.
And we just say we weren't.
Bad name for the group.
Defenders assemble.
Yes, you come up with a name. We'll take a look inside.
Negotiators.
So as
Offenders.
your wind will start leading your way into.
Well, I actually
Yeah, can we
wanna...
close the door after us?
Yes, I want to close the door immediately once everybody's in.
As you lead your group into the door and close the door behind. We'll find out next session. What does the prelate and his group? Why there are 3 entrances? What waits for you inside? And will Dal be able to find you and enter the compound now that you have closed the door behind?